everyone. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so let me introduce myself. My name is Yevonal Andrew. You can call me Yevon. I'm working as a system security engineer at Paket System Indonesia, and I'm also a graduate student at Swiss German University in Indonesia. Okay, so we know that the cybercrime, it costs a lot for many organizations. And many organizations implemented a lot of sophisticated software and hardware, but the attack keep coming. So we are thinking about a solution about early warning system because we believe that prevention is better than a cure. So, but the question is how? So we, as a university, we have a collaboration with government, the National Cyber and Crypto Agency of Indonesia, and we also collaborate with 20 plus university across Indonesia, and we have some talk with in the ASEAN country about expanding collaboration. So the collaboration that we are doing, we deploy honeypot in a lot of places in the business, in the government, and then we collect all the honeypot. We analyze the data basically. However, we know that we live in the big data era, and the data from the honeypot is a lot. We have a terabytes of data that need to be analyzed, a lot of malware data that need to be analyzed, but we don't have manual capability to solve that. So we have some challenges in terms of data volume, complexity, false positive. You know, sometimes company accessing GitHub and it can be blocked, so that's bad. And we have evolving threats. Every day, every week, there is a new malware, a new attack types. But in spite of the challenges, we have some opportunity. For example, we can create threat intelligence, early warning system, incident response, and research and development. Research and development is what I'm doing in collaboration with other party. So the objective of this research, basically, we want to convert the raw honeypot data, and we want to create an actionable intelligence. So this is the techniques that we are doing. First, we have MITRE attack mapping using NLP. So we are using basic language model. We map the detected threats into MITRE attack, and then we are using knowledge graph because we believe that the attack that happened yesterday and today, they can be correlated in some way. And then we do some clustering analysis based on the network variable. And finally, we try to combine all the results from that algorithm into one single result, which can be used for threat analysis and attribution. And of course, this research is still ongoing. The result is not concluded, but we hope we can progress in the future. Yeah, so this is MITRE framework. If you see that hash value and IP address, that's the easiest indicator that we can obtain from any cybersecurity software. But to map them into attacker behavior, the technique and procedure that they are using, it's very, very difficult. So this is the proposed ensemble framework. This is the basic charts. We have the honeypot data. We did some enrichment, and then we do some data mining NLP, and then we process with the graph analytic, and then we do some analysis and validation, and finally we can have some insight and discovery. In the pre-processing itself, before we enter the graph analytic, we first extract the IP and then we enrich with the ISN, Autonomous System Number, organization, and ISP. We also try to reverse DNS the IP, and we try to extract the Linux command, which will be processed by NLP to map into the MITRE ATT&CK. So, because we deploy a lot of type honeypot, we have SSH, Telnet, HTTP, the processing itself is very complicated, and this is just a simplified graph. We enrich the data, and finally we put into graph analytic. So, in terms of analysis and validation, because we are not using classification it's hard to measure the results. It's hard to measure whether this is true positive or false positive. It is hard. So we try to do some multiple way of validation. We have proxy measure benchmark. We compare with the ASN reputation, the IP reputation, domain knowledge, and statistical metric, and then we let human decide whether this is a good model or not. If it is not good yet, we need to improve the model and start from the beginning. Basically, iteration process. Yeah, this is the result of NLP for mapping MITRE ATT&CK. We have Linux commands, for example, wget or curl. We know that wget and curl, they are different, but somehow they can achieve the same thing. For example, if you want to download a file, you can either use wget or you can use curl. And we take the MITRE ATT&CK description from the official website, and then we convert them into vector representation, and then we calculate the similarity. Yeah, so this is the sample data set that we have. On the left side is the MITRE ATT&CK description, and on the right side is the Linux command description. So this is the data set that we have. We collect them manually. We're using web scraping, sort of, and then we compile them into one single data set. For the modeling, we are using a very, very simple model, just a bag of words and TF-IDF. For the word2vec, we are using the pre-trained model. We are using Google and FAST model. Why we are using word2vec, the simple model? Because currently there is no cybersecurity specific word2vec. Yeah, there is no word2vec that created specifically for IT and cybersecurity in general. So we have no choice but to use the simple Google model, something like that. And the consideration is a very technical word, and different words may be used to describe the same entity. So for example, if we talk about apple, yeah, it can be a fruit, it can be a operating system or computer. If you talk about Windows, it can be Windows, or it can be operating system. The problem with the current model, they do not have ability to differentiate between Windows of operating system and Windows of the home, something like that. And sometimes different words may be used to describe the same entity. So for example, sometimes people can use adversary, attacker, actor, hacker. Sometimes they can mean the same thing, but using the simple model, they kinda differentiate it. Actor like in the movie, or attacker maybe in the war, but in cybersecurity terms, they can actually the same thing. So that's the difficulty of the data modeling. And for the pre-processing, we just use a simple back-of-words NTF-IDF. We just remove the stop word, something like that. Nothing fancy here. And the challenges of evaluating the model is because we are using unsupervised machine learning. There is no way that we can measure the performance. And then, this one, the example of the data. As you can see, this is the MITRE attack, and we have the sub-technique tactic, and we have some sample Linux command on the bottom side. You can see that the curl, SCP, SFTP, and others can be used for ingress tool transfer. So we try to create a metric. So we use recall at n. The idea is we want to find how much of our prediction match or intersect with the data that we collect from the MITRE attack website. And this is the results. You can see it's not very good. For example, in the Unigram for techniques, if you keep increasing the n, you will have a higher score, but it doesn't make sense to keep increasing the n because the idea of machine learning is we want to reduce the human works and human efforts in the analysis stage. And yeah, this is the top n similarity. So how to read this? So for example, if I predict 5 techniques, how much in those 5 match with the official data set? So that's the basic idea. And this is the sample prediction. For example, the comment curl. The comment curl can be used for this purpose: exfiltration over alternative protocol, ingress tool transfer, and etc. This is a MITRE attack mapping. And this has been implemented in our SOC system. So basically, we try to reduce the human works. The analyst can directly immediately know what must they do and how to prevent that into a future accident. And for the word-to-fact model, the result is very, very bad. And we currently try to initiate a new research in our university to create a cybersecurity specific model. That's what we hope we can do in the future. And then we did some clustering analysis. We have the IP address, we have the Linux command, we have the MITRE attack. Now, how we can categorize this threat into multiple categories. So the idea is, currently in the firewall, we have something like block list IP. So we have a list of IP that we need to block, and the list of IP is very dynamic. And hacker, they are not stupid, you know. They can change their IP easily. They can use maybe VPN, or they can buy a cloud, and their IP change, and they can try to attack the company. So the idea is how we can make a category of threat so that even though they change the IP address, we can still detect them somehow. So this is the distribution of autonomous systems that are detected in our honeypot. Yeah. So you can see that in our honeypot, mostly they come from Indonesia, yeah, because we put our honeypot in Indonesia, and then from Vietnam and from China, And the interesting one is we have the most attack also from DigitalOcean. So this is a cloud, public cloud, where anyone can register for cloud services and they can use that services to attack the company. And if you know, actually DigitalOcean, they provide a free trial. So attacker kinda abuse that free trial, so they can register a new account, use a new credit card, and then they can use that machine to attack company. And this is the same. This is the company that associated with the IP. So mostly they came from Indonesia, China, and Vietnam. Yeah, this is the organization, based on organization. And as we can see that the interesting part is actually the majority of the attack that we recorded in our honeypot, they came from residential IP and from mobile IP. So they can maybe use mobile services, they restart the phone and the IP change. And this shows that it is very difficult for us to block attacker by using IP only. So what we are doing, for each IP, we have the organization and the AS number. We try to find the number of the upstream of that ASN. So our hypothesis is the fewer the upstream number, it is not a reputable hosting. Maybe if you know the bulletproof hosting or anonymous hosting, where you can pay the hosting using crypto only, when we analyze that kind of hosting, what we find out is that they have only a few number of upstream. Because in a legitimate cloud or legitimate IP, they have a lot of upstream, and if there is an abuse, the upstream will cut the connection to that internet provider. So we try to, using all those data from the number of upstream, the service attack and detected by the honeypot, and using some categorical value, we try to do some clustering. We'll skip this. So this is the sample of the cluster that we detected. So we detect 5 clusters. The first cluster is, you can see the characteristic. The first cluster, they are mostly came from the internet scanner. So like Sensis, Shodan, Shadow Server, and the other cluster, they came from like cloud and public internet. So we can see that this is the most detected attack came from using the cluster analysis. And we have 5 clusters. The most cluster is the cluster 3, and you can see that the interpretation is in the cluster 3, which is have the most detected. They are is a known scanner, and for cluster 0, they have some small proportion of scanner and Tor exit nodes. So, and you see in the cluster 2, the second cluster, we have only 41 IP, and in the cluster number 4, we only have 68 IP. So this is interesting because from this category, we can classify the IP. So let's say we have a new IP detected in our firewall or honeypot. We can immediately give them scoring, a base scoring. Maybe for IP that fall in cluster 4 or in the cluster 2, they have a higher scoring. The idea is like that. And this is the number of the upstream. You see on the bottom side, this is match our hypothesis that a legitimate service, they usually have a lot and a higher number of upstream. But for bulletproof hosting or a CAD hosting, they have a fewer number of upstream. You can see the number of upstream for cluster 0, the mean is only 2.5. So they only have 2 or 3 upstream, so they can easily cut if there is an abuse happen. Okay, so the next step is after we got this data, we further process them using graph analytic. And this is the high-level graph visualization of the IP that was detected in our honeypot. So we have the IP and we have the techniques that they are using. So you can see that this is interesting because in high level, you can see there is multiple type of hacker or multiple type of attacker that we categorize. So the first one, this is individual payload fetching cluster. So what interesting on this cluster is this attacker, they use multiple IP. So you see the prefix of the IP is 34 or 35. They are all in the same services. But when they want to drop a malware or when they try to create a connection to the CNC server, they use the same IP in the yellow. So the insight that we can extract from this picture is maybe it's more effective for us if we block the IP in the yellow instead the IP in the red color, because they can easily change the IP. They can register a new machine or register a new service. The second type, this is more diverse. So instead of fetching only from one IP, instead of only communicating with one IP, they communicate with multiple IP. Maybe it can serve as a failover if one IP is banned, they can still talk with other IP. Yeah, and this is another more interesting because the attacker, they use only few IP, but they are communicating with a lot of IP. So this is mostly for scanning. So when the attacker gain access to our system, they use our system as proxy to attack another machine. Or they use for botnet communication, something like that. And this is another cluster. This attacker, when they gain access to the system, they try to access the local host and they try to access another external IP. So what we learn from this picture is they try to communicate with the IRC server. So they try to find some service in the local host, maybe IRC server, which can communicate with the external server. And the last one is the randomized pattern, or I call them script kiddies, Maybe they just learn how to hack and they try to attack the system. They don't have much money to build infrastructure. So yeah, maybe this is not much dangerous than the others, maybe. So the summary is we use multiple models, NLP model, to map the Linux command into MITRE attack techniques, we just use a simple model, and hopefully we can do a further research using Word2Vec model which specialized in cybersecurity. And then for the knowledge graph, because graph is very resource intensive, currently we try to optimize and simplify the graph, and we also try to do some more graph machine learning stuff. And then for the clustering analysis, yeah, it successfully identified group of attacker, which has been presented before. And for the future research, we would like to explore methods to address source document variations. Maybe we can use threat intelligence from the Russian company, from the Russian cybersecurity team, and maybe we can integrate real-time graph updates, machine learning, and threat predictions. So yeah, if you want to contact me, you can contact using this email or LinkedIn. Because I'm in the university, we are very open to collaborate with maybe university or company in Russia, so we can together increase our cybersecurity and relation. So yeah, thank you, spasibo.